Welcome to your Leo full moon reading, and this of course is going to be at its climax on February 16th of 2022 at 11:56 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, so you can figure out where that is at in your time zone. And it's beautiful. We have this wonderful, exciting, fun Leo energy that's coming about. And I wanted to talk just briefly about, before we jump into your reading, what this energy is bringing in. Of course, every 28, 29 days or so, we have a new cycle of moons, from new moons to full moons and back to new moons, and so it's always going that way. But also around every 6 months we have a cycle of going from the new moon in a sign to the full moon in a sign back to the new moon in a sign. So, you know, the new moon, the last new moon, I'll show you a little card here. I love this, all these beautiful sunflowers, because the Leo, I believe, is ruled by the sun, so this is beautiful energy. The last new moon we had was back on August 9th of 2021, and that energy that started us off on that journey, like it says here, shine, and like the sun shines, right? And that was about finding pride, you know, lion pride, in who you are, remembering respect for yourself, allowing your creative energy to bring like new and unique approaches to any of your challenges. So that was the energy that started up around there. And then 6 months later, here we're coming up around February 16th of the culmination. So during those 6 months, from there up to this point that's the journey that you've been having. So you can look at back on August 9th, see what was happening around that period of time, and just what has grown around your pride in yourself and the respect in yourself and your creative energy from that time. But the Leo full moon energy, this is about releasing now old thoughts and old beliefs about who you thought you were, you know, the old things that you thought you had pride in yourself, or the things that you were using to define your respect for yourself. And now you're releasing those and you're letting go. And like it mentions in here, little lion, go wild. Get out from all that restriction and all those old thoughts and beliefs. It also says that answers are coming. So enjoy your ride, have fun, love, smile, laugh. All of those things help you see and hear answers where you didn't see answers before. And it's about using your energy not to focus on your fears, but focus instead on what you want, not on what you don't want. Focus on what you're grateful for, because whatever you focus on is what is going to grow. So this is what this is about. And I love these cards are from this beautiful deck here. So I'll let you see that in case you want to check those out. And it gives you a lot of beautiful information about the moons and the phases of the moons. And in here, they mentioned like a full moon affirmation, which I really liked, which I'm going to alter a little bit, but they mentioned like the affirmation is, I live in the present and release all past pain. And I want to alter that and say, I live in the present and release all past pain and constriction and suffering and stress, because those are those old beliefs, the old ways of seeing yourself. And this is a transformation of seeing yourself in a whole new bright way, right? So I love this, and we're going to see what the Creator has to additionally provide you for each reading for each of the individual signs, and we're going to jump into your sign right now. All right, all my Virgos, this is your Leo full moon. We're going to start off by pulling a card here from the You Are Awesome deck, just to see what the Creator wants you to know just about the Leo full moon in general. One more time. All right, so for our Virgos, what would you like them to know about this Leo full moon, please? Okay. There we go. I love these cards. They're hilarious. It says, I stay grounded by any means necessary. So during this full moon, you definitely want to take any steps you can to be grounded with your beautiful earth energy that you have. You are earth element, of course, so you have such the ability to get grounded and stay grounded. So I definitely see that here. We're also going to see what else the Creator wants you to know and expand upon that message. All right, so what else do you want our Virgos to know about this moon, please? Okay. So you do have the Death and Rebirth card. You've got the Four of Wands, the Ten of Swords. What else? And I'll show you these more up close as I go over each of them. Got the Seven of Cups, the Four of Swords. You've got the Chariot. And what else? Okay, nope, they didn't want any of those. Okay. And then these three. So you've got the High Priestess, and then in this last space, yep, you've got the Judgment card and the Star card. Perfect. So we'll put those there. Yeah, you've got all these major arcana on this side. So I'm going to go around to each, and we're going to start off by just looking at this one card as kind of like the theme of these, which is the Death and Rebirth. I love it because it's like Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. She even ate the apple and she fell asleep, but she is being awakened, and that is what this message is about here, is this death to old things and this rebirth. And so there is this message for all of this about moving from an old way into a new way, and staying grounded is such a beautiful piece of that as you're going through this. Then we're going to look at these cards separately as one message. And you have, first of all, the Four of Wands. I love all the artwork on these here. Is that clear? Here you go. Four of Wands. You have the Ten of Swords. And you've got the Seven of Cups. So I'm going to start off with this one. The Seven of Cups. Cups are our emotions, and Sevens is usually confusion about what to feel. And I really feel like that is some of this ending a new beginning that's happening, because you do have the Ten of Swords, which swords are your thoughts, your beliefs, your mindsets, your attitudes, your expectations. And so there's this transformation that happens, because tens are endings and new beginnings. And along with this death and rebirth, there's this ending of this confusion around what you're supposed to feel and what you should feel and need to feel. All those expectations. The Ten of Swords, sometimes you'll see, like in the standard tarot, someone's laying down face down on a beach with all 10 swords stuck in their back, and they're looking away from us at the sunrise. So they're not dead, they're just exhausted because they've been trying to maintain all of these supposed tos and shoulds. And along with that, shoulds is when something happens, this is how you're supposed to feel. And it's like, okay, and you've been taught since very young that when this happens, you feel this. When this happens, this is what it's supposed to mean. But you just got exhausted from trying to make all those happen. But the sunrise rising in the distance is great, because that's the new beginning that's coming, and you're so ready. It's like you're sick and tired of being sick and tired. You're letting those old thoughts go. You're letting the emotions that you thought you were supposed to feel go, because you're discovering that you get to feel what you want to feel, which is where this Four of Wands card comes in. The Four of Wands, think of fours as like a solid table with four big legs. Those four big legs make that table very stable, and wands is your energy. It's your ambition, your passion, your aha inspiration, and your spiritual energy. So this is your energies have this stable feeling, and also can be like a celebration card in a way too, because usually they'll have like a tent with people in it. that are celebrating some sort of event like a wedding or a get-together, but it's celebrating. And so this is the transformation that happens, whereas before, this exhaustion and this confusion of emotions, you know that regardless of what happens, you can have this stable energy and choose what anything means to you. And then we're going to look at these three on the bottom together. So you've already seen the Seven of Cups. And then we'll look at the Four of Swords here. I just love these pictures. She did such an amazing job with these interpretations. And then the Chariot. And these are so great together because it really builds on this message that we had where you had this confusion of your emotions, but the Four of Swords, which again, swords are your thoughts and your beliefs and your mental attitudes and all that, that is this restfulness. Your mind is at rest. And the Seven of the Chariot here is why you have two sevens here too. Because the message of the Chariot is about choice, and it is about the power of choice. As we talked about here, it basically says that no matter what circumstances come into your life, you are the one that holds the power to choose what the situation means to you and what emotions you are going to feel. And so this definitely is this ending of the ego phase of our life. It's, if you took the major arcana, set the full to the side, which is the 0, you have 21 major arcana, which when you divide it by 3 is 7 cards in each. So the first row is about your ego experience, your fear experience, the adventure that we come down here to experience with our shadow. The 7 being the finalization, the culmination of understanding that everything you went through during that first 7 cards is within your power, that you get to choose with your power of will, your power of choice, like I said, what anything means to you. And so it frees you from the future, the fear of the future, because you don't care about what else comes, because you know that no matter what unknown thing arises, you always get to choose what it means, what story you apply to it, and what emotion you get to choose. So that's where this peace of mind, this restfulness comes in, and this grounding comes in, because you have this awareness of this power to choose because of it. And then we flip over here and we'll look at all of these cards together as well. So you've got the Chariot with the power of choice. You've got the High Priestess too, which she brings in an amazing energy. She's the one that gets to look behind the veil into the unknown. She connects to the higher realms through the moon energy. She steps away to her high temple, where she gets away from all the noise and all that confusion and all these expectations and things of the outside world, and connects to the higher realms. She connects to her higher self. You know, the number 2, with especially 2 of 22, we have this huge year of 2 times of you times 2. I actually have this new series that I put out, which I'll have linked at the end of the video, which is all about getting to understand that there are 2 of you that are living this human experience. Your human side, full of all these expectations and the shadow and the fear, that's the character that you're playing on this planet, but you have the actor that's behind the character, this powerful, supernatural, eternal spirit being made of unconditional love. So you might want to check that out, because this is like that, getting into the unknown and taking you to that next level, taking you to that next step, because also you have the Judgment card, which is 20, 2 plus 0 is 2, so you have another 2. And so this works so well together, because this could be reflective of that whole U times 2 as well, because usually they'll have people standing in their tombs being raised from the dead, and a big angel that's awakening them up, and it's the reflection that you are more than this little judgy human self that is all about contrast and definition and determining if it's worthy or not. And then you have your higher self, which is that that powerful being that we just talked about as well. So you have this dual message that's coming in with those, and that's why I really feel, you really want to take a look into that U times 2 to really begin to connect in a more deep and more just passionate way with your higher self. Because then you have the Star card, which the Star card is the age of Aquarius. It's the Aquarian card. The star represents that powerful being that we really are. In fact, when you look at the Hermit card, which is the Virgo card in the major arcana, the star is what is inside of their little lantern, if you ever look at the Hermit card. And it's because this is you. It's you connecting to this higher self. It represents hope. It represents the connection to that higher realm, that you are a star. It's the Star card. You are a star, and you're realizing and recognizing who you are. And so you've got all this, all three of these just scream about connecting to your higher self. And when we take these cards and look at all these, we'll still pull a card from here, but this is the final, fruition of going around in our little full moon clockwise position here. I mean, you've got this death and this rebirth, which with this one usually showing people in their coffins, that death and that rebirth, this rebirth into who you really are, connecting to that awesomeness of who you really are. You do have this stable spiritual energy that's just ignited from this revelation of this new connection, this higher connection to who you really are. And over these last 6 months, like I talked about in the introduction, you really have been remembering this respect that you have for yourself, this higher awareness, this pride in who you really are, because things have been being stripped away. Things have been, like that apple, pieces of that apple have been bitten and taken away. Those things that were keeping you asleep, keeping you feeling small, are what are falling away. And this whole journey is what's allowing you to have this groundedness like you haven't had before. It's continually just growing stronger and stronger. And then we're going to pull from these elemental oracle and just see what element is at the core of this reading for you. So for our Virgos, what's your final message for them for this Leo full moon, please? There we go. And you've got rain. Beautiful. And it says fecundity, Fecundity. And I love what you're finding inside of you is this new birth, right? I love that. Let me just put this right here. And let's read and see what message. And that's card number 35. And it says, the conditions of greater prosperity are being met. Know that all will be well. Cleanse yourself of old, outdated views. You have everything you need to grow. Let yourself be cleansed. And this word here, it means fruitfulness. And it says, the sound of rain on leaves or a tin roof, the sweet smell of rain as it hits the thirsty earth after a hot day, the simple pleasures of life. You soon know how much rain contributes to the balance and health of a land when you haven't had any for a long time. You also understand how much it contributes to the positive mental health of communities that have been locked in drought states for a considerable length of time. Rain is liquid water from the atmosphere that has become heavy enough to fall under gravitational pull. It's a part of the life-giving water cycle and is the main supplier of fresh water to the land. Raindrops can vary in size due to temperature and the rate of coalescence. The amount of rain helps form biomes and ecosystems. Without rain, we have less fecundity. I probably murdered how to say that. Plant life, particularly plants that supply food, do not thrive without rain or irrigation. Drought affects animals and pollinators, such as fruit bats and bees, which are integral to the production of food. Some biomes are wetter than others and have also constant rainfall, such as rainforests. Human intervention has influenced rain patterns. Particles of solid or liquid matter suspended in the air can increase cloud condensation and trigger a rain event. Man-made global warming is also affecting rain patterns, with some areas becoming drier and some having more intense rainfall. The element of this, of course, is water. And I loved when it talked about the fruitfulness of water and the importance of water, because the star card, like I said, represents the Aquarian energy. And Aquarians are water bearers, or they're air signs. They bring water. And the gift that Aquarian energy brings with the water bearer is that they hold the living waters that are within that. And when they give us that drink of those living waters, we understand what it is that we are truly thirsty for, which is not the things of the outside that have disappointed, but finding this beautiful living waters that come from deep within us. So this rain that's coming, this beautiful rain that's flowing down onto this barren desert that you have felt for so long, is bringing this inner growth. And whether you don't see it on the outside yet, you know that you have enough, and it is growing inside of you, because this is what is growing inside of you. This is what lives within you, and this connection to the higher you is what this is calling you for, and what will ground you. Like it talked about, you'll do anything you can to ground yourself around this full moon, and it's beautiful. Right, well, I'm going to leave the reading there. I do want to let you know, in addition to these readings, I also do monthly readings for each zodiac sign, weekly energy updates for each of the signs, like water signs, fire signs, etc., these new moon and full moon readings, and a variety of others. So if you don't want to miss out on any of these and get notified immediately when they become available, if you give this video a little thumbs up and click that like button, and then also click the subscribe button, that'll make this notification bell pop up, and then that'll take you to this setting where you can select all for being notified when any new videos come out on this channel. That also helps spread the love, because when you like a video or share a video or subscribe to a channel, it makes the YouTube algorithm absolutely giddy, to the point that it wants to share these videos with others as well. So if you feel so inclined to do any of those, of course, I'm greatly thankful for that, but never any pressure to do so. And Virgos, know that as you are going throughout each and every second of every day of your life, that you are unconditionally loved by the Creator of all things. And of course, I love you too. Have an amazing full moon, and I shall be talking to you very soon. And until then, you take care.